Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an advanced Dungeons and Dragons advice video on understanding the setting. Before I get into this though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the tabletop role-playing game Outlaw Trails. I have a bunch of videos of Outlaw Trails on my channel. Go and check those out. I'm starting to do advice videos for Outlaw Trails as well to make your gaming experience better. I invented the game. It's designed to be simple so anybody can get it with any degree of experience and play it. If you're a beginning game master, you should be able to pick this up and within a couple hours start running games. Not just playing, but running games. If you've got years and years of adventure in tabletop role playing, you should be able to get this book and play with your family and friends forever. All you need is this one book. There's not a huge library to buy. You need this book and dice. That's it. All right. Understanding the setting. And this can go for any tabletop role-playing game. Not just D&D of any type, but any tabletop role-playing game. It is imperative that your players understand the setting and the world in which they are playing. I was running my son and his cousin in Outlaw Trails. My niece Tina is a wonderful girl. She's very smart. She's very individualistic. I like that about her. She's very free-spirited, but she's an individual. She's a rugged individualist, as it were. They were very young, as I recall, about 7 or so. And the fault for this escapade was mine. I took it for granted that she had seen Westerns before and was familiar with the genre. Alas, as it turned out, her family never watched Westerns at home. She didn't understand the concept, the setting, any of that. She was totally unfamiliar. When a posse was chasing them, I mean, we live in New Mexico, so she understood horses. But a posse was chasing them. I want to say it was something like 1868 was the setting in Texas. They check out their video. Tales of the Bank Bandits. I think that's what it was. Anyway, they talk. My son talks about it on his old channel, Arcane Gaming. At any rate, the posse was chasing them, and one of the deputies got lucky and shot her horse out from under her. They took cover and began trying to fight off the posse with their rifles. Tina had the brilliant idea of using her cell phone to call for help. Again, this was my fault. She was very young and did not understand the setting. Tina did have an excuse. Okay, this was my fault. Her family didn't watch Westerns. She was not familiar with the setting. And that was my fault because I should have explained it. I have played with full-grown adults who, by all rights, should have known the setting. In a Star Trek The Role-Playing Game mission, my friend Will's girlfriend, she was a 23-year-old woman, thought that she could move from the shuttle to an airlock on a building on the surface of a planetoid with no atmosphere. She did not know what no atmosphere meant. She literally didn't know. You can't make that up, honestly. In an advanced Dungeons and Dragons game back in 1998, one of my players thought he could buy a gun in a local shop. Yeah. He actually got angry when I told him that guns did not exist in that world. He was upset that he was going to have to use an axe or a sword. Or a bow, for that matter. In another Outlaw Trails game in North Carolina, one particularly stupid player could not figure out why there were no gas stations, convenience stores, that kind of thing. Yeah. Only in North Carolina. I'm joking. I know a lot of people in North Carolina who are good people. During a recon game set in 1968, one of my new players couldn't understand why the military didn't simply take Vietnam both North and South Vietnam, and impose American jurisprudence and the U.S. Constitution. I tried to explain to him the geopolitical setting, but he looked at me, he gave me a weird look. He thought I was crazy. Vietnam was a crazy war in a crazy time being run by people who frankly didn't want to win. As a veteran, I think I can say that. I was not in Vietnam per se, but I've served with people who were, and I got 1,000 stories about stuff that happened in Vietnam to prove what I just said. America was in Vietnam. They were committing resources, but they were given instructions and orders that were contrary to winning a war. You have to be fired on before you fire back. You can't hit this village, but you can hit that village, and they're both aligned the same way. You can't cross this line on the map. You can't go across that river. The people in the ARVN uniforms, you have to trust them, and you have to have them in your unit or whatever, even though a third of them are the bad guys. You just don't know which third, that kind of thing. It was a crazy war in a crazy time. I tried to explain all this to my friend, but yeah, he thought I was crazy. He said, according to him, you cannot fight a war like that. Really? Yeah, I agree. The sad part is that each example besides Tina was a grown adult and a high school graduate. They should have known better. I mean, anybody who's seen Rambo should have known better. Tina had about the Vietnam part. Tina had extenuating circumstances, and she was only 7. So, you got to give her some leeway. It is imperative, and I want to stress this, it is imperative that you make sure each and every player in your game understands the setting that your game exists in. When I published Outlaw Trails, and that's the reason this picture's up here, when I published Outlaw Trails, I wrote an extensive section near the front of the book detailing the setting. No matter what game you're running, and I recommend you sit your players down and discuss the setting in depth. No matter whatever game you're running, that's what you got to do. If they do not understand the setting, they will not be able to function in your world. If they cannot function in your world, it's pointless for them to play at all. And they're not going to have fun. If they don't understand the setting, they are not going to have fun. It's that simple. And that's the whole point of these games, is to have fun. We got so much serious stuff going on in the world today. And I check out my Rumble videos, my current events every week. We have so much serious stuff going on in the world. You got to be able to have some fun at some point, and sitting around with your family and friends with a tabletop role-playing game is the way to go, my opinion, because you're not on a device, you're not on a video game. This is actual interaction with human beings that you're sitting with. It is a social function, and we need that in our society today. Outlaw Trails is the perfect one for beginners. It's the perfect one, in my opinion, for anyone. In my opinion, it's far better than 5th edition D&D, 4th edition D&D, most of the others. The whole idea is to have fun, and if you're bogged down in rules, you're not having fun. Outlaw Trails is the counterpoint to that. So there you go. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God, and by the way, if any other game masters out there have a different opinion or something to add, stick it in the comments. These are supposed to be these advice videos are supposed to be instructional and giving advice for making games more fun. And if you can help, I'm not opposed to that. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.